Hello, Blitz fans of all ages, it's me, Plumcastle here, going over the changes that will be coming to the M-VI-Yoh in the next update, which is of course update 9.1. So, as many of you may know, the M-VI-Yoh is currently a very strong tier 10 heavy tank, and honestly, looking at the statistics, I think it's going to be keeping that because I think it is actually getting a buff. Now, it is a balance update, so not everything is being buffed. There are some nerfs, which I will talk about real quick, but just keep in mind as I go through them, even though they sound really bad, some of these buffs I'm going to be talking about are actually going to make this stuff make a lot of sense. So, firstly, the vehicle durability will be decreased by 150 hit points. Basically, what that means is that the current base hit point pool is going to go from 2,450 to 2,300, which just looking at that sounds like a big drop, but again, I will explain why this is not really a big nerf a little bit later. Next, the engine power will be decreased by 25 horsepower. Not much to speak of more there. And then next, the armor thickness that covers the front wheel drives will be decreased by 150 millimeters. Now, if you don't know what that means, basically those little tubes that come out of the lower plate and go into the drive wheel, basically all that's happening is that you can penetrate those now, or you'll be able to penetrate those, whereas the M-VI-Yoh currently you can't really do that. But anyway, now that we've got some of those nerfs out of the way, let's talk about some of these new consumables and provisions that will be added that are going to make this tank honestly OP. Well, more OP than it already is. So first, the shell reload boost consumable will be added. Basically, what this is like adrenaline for autoloaders. Except, as far as I know, it does not affect your overall reload of your clip, but what it does affect is that interclip, basically that amount of time that it takes to shoot the shells in between. So, if you, take for example, if you have the 2-shot gun, it takes you on average about 1.7 seconds to get that clip out, and then you can pull back. If you enable this consumable right before you do that, though, it'll drastically decrease. I don't know what number to exactly, but I imagine it to be somewhere like 1.5 seconds. So you're actually sticking out in the open for a much shorter time. I honestly think you'll notice this change even more with the 3-shot gun, because currently the interclip for that is 2.5 seconds. So 2.5 seconds that you're going for in between each shell, which is actually going to be greatly decreased by this consumable, making it so you're out there way less time, and it's going to really be make a big difference. And next, the Reticle Calibration consumable will be added. What this does is it just, when you enable it, basically makes you more accurate, which is pretty strong, particularly for clipper tanks, because they tend to have a slightly worse dispersion than some other tanks do. And then after that, we've got improved gunpowder provision. Now, what that does is it actually increases the shell velocity, so there's less delay from when you click the button to the amount of time it takes for that shell to hit the enemy tank. So overall, I actually think these are going to definitely outweigh the nerfs, and hopefully you can kind of see why, because now, let's say, theoretically, let's say you've got the 3-shot gun and we do this all crazy. So let's say you're running the improved gunpowder, which is making your shells quicker, and let's say you're also using the calibration consumable, which makes you more accurate, and then on top of that, let's say you're using the shell reload boost, so your interclip is way shorter. So basically, you're going to be able to poke out, and then you're going to be able to shoot, and then really quickly shoot another, and then really quickly shoot another, and all of those will be much more accurate than if you didn't use the consumable. That is, in my opinion, why the hit points are being decreased. The engine power also decreased, and the thickness of that little drive wheel part decreased, because if they didn't, that would just be really bad, because you just poke out, get all the shells out, do all that damage, and come right back and have no marks to show for it, because you literally just poked out in your back. So yeah, if they didn't have those nerfs, you'd basically be unstoppable. But thankfully, those nerfs are there, so this tank is not going to be too OP. But yeah, this tank is definitely getting better in update 9.1. And so with that, I hope you all enjoyed, and as always, have fun, good luck, and happy tanking.